Hey everyone, this is Melissa, and I'm the talkative introvert.
I never know how to start an episode.
I was just thinking, like, how do you want to start this?
Okay, well, I guess that's our start then.
Well, that's perfect. Are you already recording?
Yeah, I've been
Oh,
recording because
cool.
I kind of just do that because sometimes the pre-conversation is interesting enough to put in
Yeah,
a podcast.
that's smart. I like that.
Yeah, except I didn't get you talking about your hermit crab story because I was
Dang
like, oh,
it.
that's a good one.
Dang
But
it.
next time.
That's a good story. Yeah. I'm sure it'll come up again. I love my hermit crabs. They talk about them way too much.
Literally every time we've talked probably.
I know I annoy people about my hermit crabs, but I don't care because I just love them.
That's like your story now. It's just
Yeah,
hermit crabs.
I'm just
Was it Alfonso and
an Esteban.
Esteban?
Yes, Alfonso and Esteban.
Are you gonna name the third one Sebastian?
I should. If I do get a third one, I think his name will be Sebastian. I still need to figure out if Esteban's a boy or a girl. Alfonso is definitely a boy.
How do you know?
So they have these things, they're called gonoporins, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. They're basically these two little itty bitty dots, like they look like little pinpricks or like a snake bite on their stomachs,
Mm.
like really low on their stomachs. So they have to be kind of pretty far out of their shell for you to be able to see them. But if they are male, then they won't have gonoporins. But if they are female, then they will have it.
So it's just like two dots, and that's like
Yeah,
whether
like
okay.
a vagina, I think. I don't know. I
That's
can't
so
remember.
hard because they're tiny.
They're very small. Yeah, they're super small. Like literally, it looks like when you put like a safety pin into the wall, but even smaller. Or not safety pin. What are they called?
A thumbtack.
Thumbtack. Yeah.
You should put a camera feed.
I know. I really want to. I need to be. I need to find a camera that'll like be able to record at night.
Yeah. Okay, anyways, that's not what today's episode is about. Okay, so today's episode is about INTJ statistics. And we just looked up statistics. It's so hard for me to say that word. Statistics online. And we picked out our favorites and we're going to share it. And yeah, that's our episode. I don't like the word statistics because I don't like S's and T's.
Yeah, that's a really difficult word for you then.
Yeah. And I don't like the sound. Do you ever talk to people and when they pronounce their S's, it's like this high pitched like whistle whenever
Yeah,
they do? Yeah.
it's pretty rare that I
Oh
hear
my
it.
God, I hate that. What?
What?
You like you what am I trying to say? I didn't hear that last part that you said.
Oh, I don't, did it cut out or something?
Yeah, cut out. Oh my God, that's what I was trying to say. You
Oh.
cut out.
Your brain really isn't working today.
It's not. I don't think I had enough sleep.
It's okay, I didn't either. I don't even remember what I said though, so.
Okay. Because we did laundry a week ago and there's just like a giant pile of clothes on our bed and I haven't like put it away or anything.
Uh-huh.
And instead of like putting it back in the laundry basket, because we have the clean laundry basket and the dirty laundry basket.
Yeah.
So instead of putting it back, it's just this giant pile on our bed. So I have to like maneuver around it to sleep.
I do that all the time.
And I know that I will have a better sleep if I just put it back in the clean laundry basket or, fold it and put it away. But usually,
you don't want to put it back in the laundry basket because then it'll sit in the laundry basket forever.
exactly. That's my thought process. Like, okay, if I put them on the bed, it'll bother me enough that I will put it away.
Oh,
But
I
usually we'll just like when we need to change clothes, we just go through that pile until it's small enough. And then I was like, oh, this is doable. And then I'll put it away.
100% what I do. Oh my God.
Right now it's a little too big.
And I know it's so satisfying once you put it away, but I just cannot get myself to spend the time to do such a menial task.
But I love, like, it takes me a while to get there, but once I get there, like, I love when it turns from a pile to, like, these neatly folded, like, stacks.
Yeah.
And stuff.
God.
Is that an INTJ thing?
I don't know. I hear that a lot from a lot of people, though, so maybe not.
Yeah, maybe that's just like because laundry's like the worst. I don't know anyone that likes doing laundry.
I don't know. Someone told me that they loved folding laundry. I was like, what? But they hated washing it. I was like, the washing
That's the easiest part
for you. What?
Are they hand washing all their clothes?
No, they just like don't like putting it into the washing machine and starting the washer, but they don't mind folding it. I'm like, what?
That's the complete opposite.
I can't remember who told me that. I was just so confused.
Just blown away.
Yeah. I was like, man, I wish I had that problem.
Me too. Oh my God. That's the easiest part because you just leave it.
And it's so fast.
Yeah. I have a timer. I have a washer timer and a dryer timer because I'll forget.
I forget too, and it sits for a while, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then I have to rewash my clothes sometimes because it sits too long.
Yeah, and it stinks.
I know, it sucks. Why were we talking about laundry?
Oh, because I didn't have enough sleep. I have a pile of laundry on my bed.
Back to the topic.
So we're gonna share our top favorite, and I'll link. So I got mine from astroreligion.com, and I liked this site because it came with sources, so you could like click on the source. But we're sticking to statistics, right? So not just like characteristics of an INTJ, because I feel like we kind of already touched on that in our previous INTJ episodes.
Yeah, we definitely did.
So, do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Sure, I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
How many points do you have? I think I have like 14 out of the 25 that I actually liked the most.
I have 11.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, my first one is actually the first one on this website. I thought it was pretty interesting. A survey of type and American political party affiliation found that among the INTJs sampled, 19% were Democrat, 40% Republican, and 41% Independent.
That's my first one too.
Yeah, I thought it would be. We're pretty aligned on our political views, and and I hate to talk about like politics and stuff, but we're both like more towards independent than Democratic or Republican, I think. Right?
Yeah. We're both like, because we took that quiz. I forgot what website that's on.
Too. Yeah. But we're very centrist is what they called it.
Yeah. Because ours was pretty much, I think ours was pretty much the same because we were both in the center, but I think you were more Democrat leaning and I was more Republican leaning.
Yeah.
But basically in the middle.
Yeah. I would always say that I was a Democrat, even though I didn't 100% believe it, but I didn't know a whole lot about politics, and I was just like, oh, you had to be one or the other. So I always leaned towards Democrat, but as I've gotten older, I feel like I'm more in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned in a previous episode that I'm libertarian, and that's pretty much like in the middle because it's like you don't care what people do as long as they're basically like you don't care what people do as long as they're like being nice and polite to each other and respectful to each other, which is like the whole thing. Because I think Democrat, I think for like Democrats, I believe in like the humanities portion of it. You know, like gay marriage. Like I honestly don't care who you marry. You can marry your freaking truck or something. Like, it doesn't matter. Like marriage is such a weird concept to begin with.
Yeah.
like it's a weird concept for it to be legally binding, or if that makes sense. Like because marriage is like it's a personal choice, it's like it's more emotional
Mm.
than like
That's
has
really
legality
weird.
part.
Yeah, that is really weird that it's so connected with the government.
Yeah, like I don't think marriage should be connected to the government at all. It should be
Yeah.
completely separate because it's a personal emotional choice.
And a lot of times it's a religious thing. Like it's
Yeah, exactly.
which there's supposed to be a separation between religion and government.
Right? And so it's so weird because like I get parts of it, like if you die, then it goes to your spouse. But at the same time, why can't you just pick who your stuff goes to? Like, I mean, that's the whole point
Yeah.
of a living trust and a will.
Yeah.
But like my mom has a living trust. My parents decide just to give it to me and my brother if
Yeah.
they die instead of it going straight to my dad because my dad's like, I'm old already. Like, what do I need it for?
Yeah.
But in order for that to happen, for it to not go to my dad and just to me and my brother, my dad had to sign it to say that it's okay. Like the husband is
What?
okay, that's not going to him and it's going to his kids instead.
That's so weird.
Right? It's so weird. Like the whole concept of marriage and government is weird.
Oh, it's like being a military spouse. Like you're not your own. Like the spouse is not really their own person. Like,
What?
or in terms of like our insurance, I
Mhm.
cannot do anything with the insurance. Like if I want to change my insurance, I can't do anything. Fabian has to do it for me.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And like just stuff like that. Like I'm more considered a dependent than I am like a spouse
Oh,
as
how
far as
weird.
marriage goes. It's very weird. Like they do not
I
let
don't like that.
yeah, I hate it. It's so annoying because I can't just do things myself. I have to
Yeah.
have Fabian help me or do it for me. Like, oh, it's dumb.
That is weird. Yeah. So, I mean, that's only one aspect of politics that's weird. But yeah, I thought this was interesting too. 41% independent. So, majority of us are independent or third party, as people like to call it, even though there's literally so many other parties. But whatever. That's politics. We won't get into that. Okay, so the second one. It's funny because, like, the two main things you don't talk about is politics and religion.
Yeah.
But I liked the second statistic, which I think it's the second one. I can't remember in the website, but it's the 64.4% of INTJs in a 3,036 person study indicated that they did in fact believe in a higher spiritual power. Only 23.1% are atheists and 12.5% are agnostic.
I chose that one too. That's actually number 4 on the
Yeah.
website. But I did choose that one too because I actually found that very surprising.
That 64% or what part of
Yeah,
it?
that 64% of INTJs do believe in a higher power.
I mean, I get it. I had to like kind of think about this because I never really looked into what the differences of like an atheist and an agnostic is. But I know like an atheist doesn't believe in any like higher power at all whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
And then agnostic is like, do you know what agnostic is? I kind of forgot already.
From what I've been told, I haven't actually like looked it up, but from what I've been told, agnostic is like you don't necessarily believe in like a god, but you also won't rule it out because there's just no evidence like either way. That's what I've heard.
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, person who claims neither faith nor disbelief in God.
Oh, is that really what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so that was
Okay,
right.
that makes sense. So, like for me, I do believe I am part of the 64% that believe in a higher spiritual power, but I don't necessarily know whether that's like the capital G God or just like a God. I just feel like something had to have created the first Adam, like
Yeah.
like atheism is kind of hard for me because it's like really just that a big bang and then we're just all created like just like that, or I don't know. I feel like there's got to be something out there. There's like a higher
Mm-hmm.
power or something like that created just like the first thing
Yeah.
that evolved to all of this.
I agree actually. I am also part of that 64.4%. I just thought it was weird because, people say that INTJs are like they're very logical, they're all about reasoning. So you'd assume like someone who's not an INTJ would probably assume that they're atheists or agnostic. Because that's
I think that's why, because we're so logical that there's got to be something that created some, there has to be an ultimate creator.
Yeah.
Instead of just like came out of nowhere.
Yeah. It's so funny because I was thinking about this the other day too, like on my drive from school. I was just contemplating like higher spiritual powers and stuff. But for me, I believe in like, I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I feel like I have on the podcast, but I believe in like there could be something, but it's more like, for me, it's hard to believe that it was just one thing like a god. I think of it as like the universe. Like when I like pray or whatever, I'm praying to like the universe. Like if I want something good to happen, I'm like, oh, please let this happen, blah, blah, blah. But not that I really like pray. It's just,
yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm trying to like relate it to something that makes sense. But yeah, like I feel like there's something out there, but not necessarily like God.
I know my mom asked me, oh God. So I grew up in a very religious household. All my family members are either Catholic or this other Christian church that we're in. I actually want to do an episode on like purity culture and like Christianity and like growing up in a really strict Christian household.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. I don't know if I don't know. I might do it. It just depends. Because I don't want like people like my family like getting at me, but whatever. Yeah. I'm already talking about it now. So my mom asked me like, what is your religion? Because we were talking about religion because my aunt's like Jehovah. Yeah. And then my aunt and uncle, they're two different like churches, but so their kids, because their parents are two different churches, the kids just decide that they're just not going to do church at all because they don't want to, pick one between the other. Yeah. And so she asked me, so like, how about you? Like, what do you do? Because I left our church when I was 18.
Mm-hmm. Damn, it went that long?
Well, I mean, I lived with my parents, so I kind of had to. So I left. I mean, I technically left like my mindset like in high school. Yeah. But I left when I turned 18 and I was an adult and old enough to leave the church. Yeah. But she asked me like, what's my spirituality? Like, what's my church? And like, I didn't want to like offend her. Mm-hmm. But I did tell her like, I was really honest and I was like, honestly, I think that every person, like if you're going to believe in God, I don't think it's black and white that like you'll go to hell for this and you go to heaven for this. Yeah. I think it's everyone has their own individual spiritual relationship with God. Mm-hmm. Because like one of the things in the Bible, if you take the Bible like super literally, like in our church, like women don't cut their hair and they wear only women's garments, which means like, skirt or a dress. They don't wear pants. And we don't wear like worldly possessions like jewelry and all this other stuff. And then I said, someone who cuts their hair is not the same as someone as say, oh, I don't know, Hitler. So I don't think like that person's going to go to hell because they like get a tattoo. Like I got my tattoo and then my mom found out. And I was like, I don't think God's going to hate me for this because, again, I'm not like Hitler. So I didn't kill a bunch of people. So I think like someone like me who has like pink hair and a tattoo is not the same as someone who like murdered someone. Yeah. And I think like I have like my personal relationship with God is like I just make sure I'm a good person and a respectful person and blah, blah, blah. Exactly. A decent person. Yeah. So that's why I told her. I said, I don't have a church, but I believe that everyone has an individual relationship to whoever God may be, if it is a God or gods or he or she
I
or
would love
it.
to believe in gods, as in like Greek gods and stuff, even though they're pretty messed up, but
Yeah, they are.
interesting.
I
I feel like
know.
that's more plausible though to me.
Oh, definitely. If like humans came from that, yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense. But yeah, I thought this was interesting.
Yeah.
64%.
That's because
All
that's
right.
such a high percentage. That's over
Yeah.
like that's a lot. It was a lot more than I expected.
hmm Yeah. I feel like, well, in general, though, I feel like people as a whole, at least in America, I don't know how it is in other countries, but there are studies showing that less and less people are going to church and are believing, like, the St. James Bible or whatever.
Yeah. I've seen that
So,
too.
hmm so I feel like people are just, in general, just not going to church or
Mhm.
not at least, or they're at least questioning it.
Yeah.
All right. What's your next one?
Okay. Next one. So this one was actually number 2. So I thought it was kind of funny. But in a study rating argumentativeness in the types, INTJs were the second most argumentative after ENTJs. Which I didn't realize this until like recently, but I can agree with that. I feel like I do argue. If I'm comfortable with someone, I will argue with them.
Yeah.
Like if I feel like I'm right, I'm right. I think we talked about this too before in one of our like characteristics thing.
Yeah. I wanted to see what you would say about that.
I feel like we're both like that because I think you get pretty argumentative.
Yeah. I'm trying not to. I'm trying so hard.
I know.
Because, especially like with Brandon, because you guys have such terrible memory. And he'll fight me on something. And I'm just like, no, believe me. That is not what happened.
See, that's what me and Fabian get, but I swear I remembered it correctly.
But it's so sweet when I can like prove it.
It is nice when you can prove something that you've been arguing over.
But yeah, I'm trying really hard not to be that person because I know like people find it annoying, and then you're the know-it-all that I don't know.
It's
Arrogant know-it-all.
It's annoying, but I've noticed that in myself a lot, and I'm like, man, I can be mean sometimes.
Because I hate when people tell me I'm wrong when I'm not wrong. Like if I know 100% that I am right, like I'll fight
I know
for
exactly.
it. Like if I'm unsure, then sure, whatever. I'll take like I won't like continue the conversation. But if I know, then I know.
Yeah.
Like trust me that I know. Let me go search a peer-reviewed journal for you. Like I know.
Yeah, but that's how I get. But I'm like, I'm too lazy to like look all this up until I'm like been arguing forever. I'm like, okay, fine. Like I'm gonna prove myself.
Me too. I'm pretty lazy. That's why I try not to get into fights anyways.
Yeah.
Especially if I know your type, like some people in my family, even if they're wrong, they don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
So if
if
I know you're like that, then I won't even bother.
even when you have evidence and whatnot, they're still like, no.
Yeah. Because they have to be right.
Mm-hmm.
When I read that though, I was laughing. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. There were a few of these I read them, I just started dying laughing. I was like, dang. That's an eye opener.
It really is. They're just I don't know. Like sometimes when I read about INTJs, I'm just like, do I even want to be one?
I know, I know. I'm like, man, these people sound annoying.
Like, damn.
But then I'm like, man, I relate to this so hard. But then I read other things and it makes me happy to be an INTJ. And it is one of like apparently, according to this other article I read, I think, um, INTJs are a very coveted personality.
Is it?
Just because we're viewed as like just masterminds, even though I don't 100% believe that, but just because like they're generally speaking, INTJs are like intelligent and creative and all of this and that. But when you dive deeper into it, I don't know, it's not. There are a lot of people that I feel like are way more intelligent and way more creative than I am and aren't INTJs. So,
Yeah. But it's sounds so arrogant, but it does suck to be smart.
I read something the other day too where it was like it's actually kind of a downfall to be smart. Like people, like intelligent people always suffer the most like mentally because they're smart because they they know how things work.
Yeah, like anyone who says they want to be an INTJ, I'm sorry, but you're going to end up in therapy. Let me just tell
Yeah,
you that.
I think
And you're
there's
just going to always be in your head.
yeah. I think we're gonna come across one that's in here about that.
No, let's get into it. This is a good segue.
Yeah.
So I know there's the one that I have. So INTJs were the type second most likely to seek professional help as a
Hmm.
way to cope with problems, and the least likely to use TV, which is weird. They are also the third least likely type to get angry and show it, and ranked third lowest for relying upon religious beliefs.
Yep. Yeah, that's the
Yep.
one I was talking about.
It's weird that we're the least likely to use TV, but well, you know what? I guess I don't like if we got rid of our TV now, it wouldn't be like the end of the world for me.
Yeah, that's like, because I was thinking about that one too, and I was like, well, I do watch a lot of TV, but when it comes to like how it says ways to cope with problems, like I definitely
Hmm.
don't use it as a way to cope with problems. Like I don't use it as an escape like some people do, but
Hmm.
I do. I also like I watch a lot of TV, but I also don't really care for it as much anymore. Like I've noticed that when Fabian's home, the TV is always on, always on. And sometimes it annoys me. I don't think I've ever told him this, but sometimes it really annoys me. Like when we come home, or if I come home and like the TV's on, like it'll bother me sometimes. Or like we wake up or something, and the first thing he'll do is like turn on the TV. I'm like,
Oh my God.
why do we need the TV on? And I realize when he's gone, my TV never gets turned on. Like the only time I watch TV is like right before bed or something. Like that's it. Even if I'm home
Yeah.
all day long, I will not turn on the TV. Like I'll listen to music or something, but I'm always like doing something. There's another one. I can't remember which one it is. We'll probably come across it, but there's another one in here that says something like the way we do like spend leisure time or whatever is we're more likely to get on the computer or play video games to relax.
Yeah.
And
Something like interactive with your mind.
yeah, like I need to be like doing something. Like even when I
Yeah.
watch TV, I have to be doing something. Like I have to either be like eating dinner or like sometimes I'll do my embroidery while I'm watching TV. Or like I feel like I can't just sit there and watch TV.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too when I came across that because, yeah, like you said, I don't use it to cope. It's kind of just there.
Yeah.
And like yesterday, I was working on some shirts that I was making,
Uh-huh.
and I did have like my tablet on. I was watching Will and Grace, but it was just on because I like the noise.
Noise. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like I don't know. I just like people talking.
Yeah.
And like when I'm working, sometimes I'll have the tablet on, but I have it on just to keep me awake. But if I'm like already like fully awake and then had like a good night's sleep, the whole house is silent. It's like completely silent
Yeah.
until Brandon comes in, and it's just like, because when Brandon comes in the house, he like opens the door above, because Brandon, I don't think, understands his strength. So everything he does is very like beastly.
Yeah.
I've told him that too. I was like, you need to calm down with your way you move. Because he's always like hit me or hurt me accidentally because he doesn't understand his own strength.
Yeah.
Um, but he'll like come into the door and it's like super loud the way he opens the door, and then he'll carry his like tools in, and it's just like all this clanking and like the tools clanking together and metal. And then he'll like come into the room. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Clearly working. It's not 5 yet." And then he's like, "How come nothing's on?" I was like, "Are you?" Because he'll ask me like, why am I not listening to music or like a podcast or something? And he's like, it's so quiet in here. And then he'll start talking.
Oh my God, that sounds like me. Actually, I do that stuff too. Fabian gets so annoyed because I don't know, I feel like Brandon might do this, but I ask a lot of questions, like
Oh my
like
God.
simple questions.
Mm-hmm.
Fabian like hates it. Like it'll be something like, I'll be like, oh, why is this light on? And he'll be like, I don't know, because I went into that room or something like that, or like, I don't know, little things like that. I just like, they pop in my head and I just ask them.
Another Perry sibling thing, because that annoys the crap out of me.
I
Because
can't.
Brandon just talks to himself, but he
Yeah.
asks questions. So I think he's talking to me, but he's not. He's just talking.
No, I'll do that. Or like a lot of the times I've realized the questions aren't really because like I'm directing them towards Fabian or whoever,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really me like thinking out loud. But I also do
Yeah.
still want an answer. But I also
Like if it's convenient to have the answer, but if you don't have it, you'll
yeah,
still find
like
it.
like
Yeah.
sometimes he'll give me an answer, but I'll completely like I won't pay attention to it, or I'll forget that he gave me the answer, and then I'll ask the question again. But not because I'm looking for an answer. It's because I thought I just didn't never got an answer, and it's just like popping in my head, and I don't know. I just need to ask it. That's so funny.
Yeah, like we were playing Cyberpunk when it came out.
Play that.
And, it's a new game, so you're learning the controls and stuff. And the whole time, so I've kind of learned how to zone Brandon out a little bit.
I
I
think
don't
he
know.
zoned me out. I'm pretty sure he does.
But he'll ask like, how do you get into the car? How do you drive? How do you get here? How do you do this? And then like I was getting so annoyed, and I was like, just figure it out. I don't know. But like I'll start to like zone him out, and then he'll just, if he does need the answer, like what you do, he'll like repeat himself.
Yeah.
Or he'll ask me, do you have your headphones on? And I'm like, no. And then he'll ask the question again.
Oh my God, I do that all the time, and I don't realize I'm doing it, but now that I'm thinking about it, I do it all the time. And like, because I know, especially with the controls thing,
Mm-hmm.
I know I can figure it out within like 2 seconds. But it's like it pops into my head. I'm like, oh, how do I do this? So I say it as I'm trying to figure it out.
It's so funny because so when Brandon does his woodworking, he does it in the garage, right? And so I could our walls are pretty thin, so I could kind of hear him talking. And I'm like, who's he talking to? Like I thought maybe he was on the phone. And I went out there and I was like, who are you talking to? like was it a neighbor? He's like, no one. Just in there, just talking to himself.
Oh my God, that's funny. God, we are too much alike sometimes. It's scary.
Yeah, you guys, God, you guys really are. Because I'm like, man, am I dating Leah right now? I'm dating married to Leah.
Oh my.
But he says that about me and Mikey sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Pretty similar,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Oh my god.
What? I don't even know what stat we were talking about.
It was.
Oh, coping.
Yeah, with the TV. Oh, and we're the third least likely to get angry.
See,
Which,
that one's a hard one because
I think it's more like expressing it.
yeah.
Because I get
'Cause
angry.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of always angry.
Yeah, too. Like, there's always some little thing that's like pissing me off because people
Yeah.
don't do things correctly. But especially at work. Oh my God, I'm probably always angry at work. But I hide it really well because people tell me I'm really nice.
Me
And that I
too.
well.
Like I'm really glad that people can't read minds.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
'Cause I feel like if someone read my mind while I was angry, they'd probably cry and like just be really sad and down about themselves.
Yeah.
And hopefully that monster will never come out. Because sometimes I scare myself, like when I'm like talking in my head and I say something like awful about someone.
Oh my
I'm
God.
just like, oh my God, calm down.
I'm like that too. I'm like, man, good thing I'm like an introvert and I don't say these things out loud.
Oh yeah, I don't think anyone would like me.
Yeah, no. I don't even like myself. I'm like, dang, why are people friends with me?
I know. Like in my head, I'm just like, wow, you really went there, did you?
So bad.
Okay, what's your next one?
My next one, I picked this one just because I'm taking chemistry right now, but it's number 9. In a study of student psychological types versus the level of success in a chemistry class, the average score of the INTJ personality type was 5.1 to versus 12.6 points higher, or which is 12.6 points higher than every other personality type. So apparently INTJs are really good at chemistry, but I don't know. I have a weird thing about this because
Why?
I've taken 4 chemistry classes. First one was in high school. I don't really count that. I don't even remember what grade I got in. I passed. I think I got like a B, but it's just high school. And then my first chemistry class in college, I struggled hardcore in that class. I think I got a B, but it was a struggle, like a struggle. I spent so much time on that class. But then like the 7 years later, I took the second level of that class and I got an A. I don't know how I did that, but I was like freaking out before I even started it because I was like, oh my God, it's been 7 years since I took the first level and now I'm about to take the second level. Like, I hate chemistry. It's terrible. But I got an A in it, and it was in the middle of like when COVID like first started. So we started out in person for half the semester, and then the second half ended up like switching online and whatnot. So I was dealing with that too. But and then now I'm in OChem, and I'm so annoyed because I have a 79.82% in that class.
Oh my God.
I know.
You're so close.
I'm so upset. But and I don't really know how, like, I feel like there's still so many other people that are like way better at chemistry than me too. So I don't know how much I believe in this one. But it is a statistics, so
Yeah.
it's a really bad INTJ in chemistry.
Did I take chemistry? Oh, I did take chemistry.
I was wondering if you had or not.
I did.
In college?
No, in high school.
Yeah.
Because in college, I didn't have to. I had to take more biology type classes. Which honestly, I like bio like immensely more than chemistry.
So much better than chemistry. I hate chemistry. It's my major
Like
biology.
yeah. I think I did well in my chemistry class because I did TA for it the next year.
Dang.
But I didn't like it like as much as I like biology.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't remember anything I learned from chemistry.
Exactly. What? So unnecessary. Did you know a lot of people weren't forced to take chemistry? Like Fabian has never taken a chemistry class ever in his life.
Yeah, Brandon did take chemistry.
What? That really blows my mind. Like, how did people get out of it in high school?
There's a lot of classes that like Mikey and Brandon didn't take that I was like, why didn't I take it? Man, I could have just flown by high school so easily.
Could have. It's those damn honors and AP classes. That's why.
Which don't matter once you get into college.
No, they really
Oh
don't.
my gosh, I wish someone told me that. I wouldn't have done like honors. I honestly would have probably just done a bunch of art classes and just like the easiest classes possible and just like had fun in high school.
Yeah. The only thing that has mattered for me from high school were my taking Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
That got me out of some classes in high school or in college, like the foreign language requirement, which I took. I can't remember if there was honors Spanish, but there was AP Spanish, and I took it, but I didn't need the AP portion of it. Like I could have just taken 2 years of Spanish and like gotten out of college Spanish. So I did more than I needed to.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
so the only things, okay, for people who are going to college, the only thing that I think that mattered for me, like when I went into college, was math, English, and Spanish. So
my math didn't
take at least 2 years of Spanish or like any language. Well, because I mean basic math, because you have to take the entrance exam.
Yeah.
And so if you did really well in English, you got to skip all those entry level English and go straight to like whatever it is, 1A or whatever it's called. Yeah. And same with math. If you get high enough, then you get to skip all the basic stuff and only have to take like one math class or something.
See, that was not my case, which was stupid because I took 2 years of calculus in high school. Like I got to the highest point you could in math in high school. And I still had to take it all in college.
Oh, really?
They made me start all over. They made me start from what was it? From trig. I had to take trig, failed it because my teacher sucked, and then I tested out of it. I don't know why I didn't just do that like my first year, but I tested out of it because I was like, there's no way. Like I'm sure I failed because the teacher sucks, and sure enough, I failed because the teacher sucks. And then they made me take the whole calculus series. I took three calculus classes in college, even though I passed AP calculus both years in high school.
Oh, that's weird. Well, for me, I did the entrance exam because everyone had to take that, and then I took a separate calculus exam. So it's a separate test, and then I was able to go straight to like whatever class I took. I don't remember. So honestly, it doesn't all matter anyways because I don't use calculus in real life.
True. Yeah, I have yet to use it, and I'm doing science, so whatever.
Okay, so let's see.
What's your next one?
Oh, so this one said a descriptor study found that non-type savvy observers.
I chose that too.
Perceive INTJ females as not being feminine. Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty accurate.
How many times someone has thought I'm like a lesbian or something? No offense to lesbians, but I'm just not.
Yeah. No, like I remember. No, I just talked to Brandon about this like not too long ago because my mom is like as feminine as feminine can be, like in her heyday, I guess if you will. Now she doesn't care, but she was into like skirts and dresses, and she always had nice hair. Like all her pictures, she's always like done up, and her appearance was very important. And she had really good manners, and she didn't put like her elbow on the table, and
I
she
have
was like,
a table.
and she loves it, like the like every Halloween I ask her, what do you want to be? And she always says she wants to be a princess. And she loves like Princess Diana, and she loves like the whole like royalty kind of like her favorite Disney movie is is it Cinderella? No, Snow White. And she loved Snow White, like how she was like so proper, and how she was very like put together, and how she like cleaned up the little dwarfs' houses, and has a beautiful voice and very, very feminine. And then she ended up with me, unfortunately for her.
My mom too. She always wanted me to be like super girly, and I just wasn't like. I mean, I was like that. I think up until I was maybe like 3 or 4 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
Well, we didn't have a choice.
from my memory, like my oldest memories, I always wanted to be a tomboy. Like I wanted to play with the boys. I wanted to do what the boys were doing. I wanted to be outside. I wanted to like do like non-girl things. I always got told like, oh, you can't do that because you're a girl. And I'm like, what?
Oh, I hated that. I hate when people say that.
Yeah. And I was like,
Makes me so mad.
Yeah.
It makes me want to just do it more.
I know.
But yeah, I was the same way growing up. Like, I'm definitely more feminine now. Like, I like pink and floral and all this stuff, but I don't think I act feminine really.
Yeah.
At least not like the old school term of feminine. And but yeah, growing up, like I played like with the guys, and I hated wearing dresses and skirts, and my mom struggled so hard because like when it's time to get ready for church, like man, I had the ugliest outfits when I think back on it, because like I was just forced to wear a dress or a skirt, and I hated it. And so I just wore whatever, and I didn't care what it looked like, and I hated the feeling of it, and I don't know. I hated all of it, and I hated the color pink for the longest time.
Oh my God, me too.
Yeah, and I refused to use a purse, and I refused to like wear heels and all that stuff.
Yeah, I would get so embarrassed because like anytime that I did actually choose to do something that's like considered feminine, like my mom would make a big deal out of it.
Yeah. Oh, I hated that.
But like, yeah, I've gotten now as I've gotten older, I have become like more feminine, or been okay with, I guess, being feminine, because I think when I was younger, I just didn't want to be perceived as feminine. I didn't like the thought of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because people associate it with being like ditzy and dumb and blah blah blah, which is dumb.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't. But now I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to be both. But I still feel like I have to try really hard to be more feminine. Like it doesn't come naturally to me.
Yeah.
The girl.
Like I'm just now like mastering the winged eyeliner.
Yeah. I do
Just
the
like
same makeup routine every day. I can't like, oh my God, it's taken me years to even do what I know how to do.
yeah, exactly. Like I don't know. Being feminine's hard.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
And then I work in a hair salon, so it's like the most feminine environment you could be in. And so
It gets tiring.
I don't know how they do it all the time. Like there are days I show up to work and I just did not feel like putting makeup on. And I try to do my hair because I work at a hair salon, but like there are some days where I'm like, I just don't have the time for that. I'm like, how do all these stylists come in every day looking all nice and like put together every day? I'm like, how do you have the time for that? I mean, that's their life. Like they work in that. So it's so hard to be a girl sometimes.
It's very time consuming too, because so when we go out, like how we went to went to brunch for Casey's birthday.
Yeah.
We, Casey, God bless her soul, she warned us beforehand. She's like, just so you guys know, I want to take pictures today or, for brunch tomorrow or whatever. And so when she said that, obviously I kind of already knew because it's Casey and it's her birthday.
Yeah.
So I set my alarm clock an hour before I had to leave, like an hour and a half before I had to leave, because I know I'm going to mess up on something when I do my makeup, and I know it's going to take forever to like do all that and my hair and all this stuff. And so I like prepped for it for the whole day.
Yeah.
And I did my makeup and I did my hair and I like wore a dress and all this stuff. But the moment I came home, the first thing I did was take all of it off and just put like my pajamas on and like took off all my makeup and then put my hair up in a ponytail.
Yep. Oh my God. That's kind of like just going to work. I was talking to one of my coworkers and I was like, oh yeah, I get up like an hour and a half before I have to leave to get ready and stuff. And and who I was talking to, she's always put together, always has a really nice outfit. Her hair always looks really good. Her makeup is done like more than I do. And and she goes, oh, I wake up like 30 minutes before I have to leave. I was like, what? I was like, how do you do that in 30 minutes? I don't understand.
Yeah, even with the hour and a half that I set myself, it's still not as flawless and as good as like most people.
I'm still doing less than everyone else. It takes so long.
I just don't know how they do it. It really is an art form.
Yeah.
Like makeup really is an art.
Yeah, and I don't have the creative brain for that kind of art. It's not my thing. As much as I want it to be, because I do like makeup. I think it's really pretty, and I like watching people put makeup on too. Like, YouTube and stuff. Like I'll get stuck watching those, but I cannot learn for the life of me how to do it.
And it never turns out. Like I tried following a makeup tutorial.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why doesn't it look like that? Am I doing this wrong? Like what's happening? But that one definitely resonated with me because like I just think about like I know my mom loves me, but sometimes deep down in her little crevice, I'm sure she wished that I was more feminine.
Oh yeah, I know my mom does for sure. She's still trying to make me more feminine.
Oh, I know. Like every time she buys us stuff.
I know. Oh my God. She FaceTimed her not too long ago. She's like, look what I got you. It's like this. I mean, a lot of the things that she gets me now I do actually like, but yeah, she's always buying me like dresses and just like makeup. Like I get all my makeup and like nice clothes from her. And Fabian like buys all my nice clothes. He shops better for me than I do. It's so sad.
At least he has taste.
I know, like literally everything I get complimented on is either from Fabian or my mom.
That's funny.
That's it. I don't think I have ever really gotten complimented on something that I bought for myself. My glasses, actually, I did choose those.
Oh yeah, you do have cute glasses.
Thanks.
Yeah, Brandon wears jeans and a black t-shirt every single day. So I don't rely on him for any fashion advice. Literally, that's all he wears. The black t-shirt. It's so funny because,
He's simple like our dad.
Yeah. It's funny because he thinks it's so hilarious when we go out. He'll ask, how do I look? I'm like, shut up.
That is funny.
I'm like, just like yesterday.
Oh, God.
Okay, your turn.
Okay. Oh, I liked this one a lot. It's number 18. A study examined the leisure pastimes of the 16 types. The type that most liked the item taking classes was the INTJ.
I thought you'd pick that one.
I tell people all the time when I graduate and I like have my career and everything, I want to go to school for fun. I want to take classes that I just am interested in.
I want to take all the classes I couldn't take in college.
Yes. Like people don't understand how excited that makes me to be able to take a class that I'm actually very interested in. Like when I choose my classes for, well, I plan out like my entire like college education. So I know every single class I'm going to take for the next like 2 years. When I sit down to do that, it's like one of my favorite things to do. I love looking in the class catalog and all the classes that are offered. And I'm like, it's like shopping to me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I want to take this one. I want to take that one. I want to take this one. And then there's the classes that you have to take. And I'm like, I don't want to take that.
And I try to get those like out of the way first.
Mm-hmm.
But man, there's so many classes I wanted to take, but they always got like filled up or whatever.
Yeah. Or it's just not like in your major, so you just can't waste time, or financial aid doesn't cover it.
And I really, really wanted to take the religion, magic, and witchcraft, I think is what it's called.
What?
Yeah. But it always gets, every single semester, it gets filled up. And I'm just like, why? I really want to take this class.
Yeah, it sounds like a class out of like Harry Potter.
Exactly.
That's probably why it always gets filled up.
I know, all the freaking Potterheads. Oh my God. I wanted to take it so bad. I still want to take it. Like, I'll go back just to take that class.
Yeah.
I bet it'd be so interesting.
Yeah. I still want to take a bunch of like astronomy classes. I would love to take those for fun because I feel like they would be hard.
Astronomy.
So it wouldn't matter if I like didn't pass or something.
Did I take? No. The astronomy classes also always got filled up because I really wanted to take those too. Because I love space in general. Like, I want a space-themed tattoo. I just haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, I like really want like a moon tattoo, but I don't want it to be cliche.
Yeah. I have a cliche moon tattoo.
Not Pluto, like you have a cliche moon tattoo?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. The literally the only tattoo that I have.
I can't remember what it looks like because I haven't seen it in person.
It's the moon with the roses, and it has Brandon and Lake's silhouette on it, sitting on the moon.
That's not cliche.
Kind of is with the moon, because moons and flowers for some reason are cliche, but there's a reason behind my tattoo.
Yeah, but yours is like super personal because you got Brandon and Link on there.
Except I do wish, because Link is looking at Brandon. But I do wish Link was just looking straight forward so you can see his ears. Because I don't know if Austin still listens to the podcast, but when I showed it to him, he thought Link was a milk carton. And I was like, a milk carton? And then like looking at it, I mean, I don't see the milk carton. It's probably just a terrible picture. But now I'm just like, man, if he was looking forward, it's just so obvious that it's a dog, or at least an animal. I don't know, but that's just like bugged me ever since he said that.
I'm about to pull it up. Oh, I can see that.
I was like, damn it, Austin. I was trying to think, like, how can I fix it? Like, I could make him bigger. Like, I could make Link a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. It's there. It's permanent. Can't do anything about it.
At least you know. That's what matters.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Oh,
yes, Link.
I can hear pitter patter.
Oh, is Daddy home? Or what was that? There was like a sound. Okay, I don't know. That was weird. Anyways, what were you talking about? What was your statistic? Oh, classes.
Oh, taking classes, yeah. We can go to the next one. What's your next one?
Okay. This one's like my favorite one. So, okay, this one says INTJs are known for being hardworking, meticulous, stubborn, and strict about principles. Thus, they naturally meet a number of the official DSM symptoms for OCPD, obsessive compulsive personality disorder.
I chose that one too.
Because it's true. I know we have OCPD, even though we're not diagnosed. Oh my God, you scared me.
Oh, Brandon?
Hold on, I'm going to close the door. Okay. I don't like when Brandon listens to me do the podcast.
Oh, I would be weird about it too.
Okay, anyways, so the OCPD.
Yeah. It's funny because I've had several people tell me that they think like I have OCD. And I've thought about it too. I'm like, man, do I have OCD or something similar? But yeah, we definitely have some of the symptoms.
Yeah. And like, so for us, it's specifically like the OCPD, because I think we talked about, I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast, but there's a difference. So like the OCD, they have like rituals and
Oh, it's like, yeah, it's almost like tics for them, isn't it?
But OCPD is more specific to like you straighten out pencils on a table, or like like you prefer 90-degree angles in
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
yeah, because I think we're more OCPD, because I don't have like rituals, like I don't flip a switch 5 times or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's more just like being a perfectionist. Like I made Casey a shirt, and I apologized to her. I was like, it's not perfect. And she said, I'm probably not even going to notice what's wrong with it. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to tell you what's wrong with it then.
That's so true.
But it pissed me off because I was staring at it for a long time, because I did like the heat transfer vinyl. And I was staring at it for a long time, and I had my ruler out, and I thought it was perfect, but I missed a little spot. And then one of like the letters or words weren't perfectly straight. But once you put it on and you iron it on, you can't take it back off. So I was just like so angry, and I stared at it for the longest time. I'm just like, okay, it's a slight angle. It's not quite 180 degrees, but maybe she won't notice.
That's the worst. I'm trying really hard to be better about that kind of stuff, actually. I think I've gotten a little bit better, but I do find myself like not thinking about it, but like straightening everything. I'm like that at work. I don't know if people have noticed this at work, but when I'm at the desk, like the desk is kind of small. It fits like 2 computers and stuff, but there's not a whole lot of extra space on it. So I'm constantly putting like the pens in like a specific spot, like on the keyboard, like in a specific spot on the keyboard.
Yeah.
And like the thermometer that we have, I put in a specific spot. The phone goes in a specific spot. Like I'm always like putting it, and then someone will come up and like use the pen or like use the thermometer or like move something, and I'm like constantly trying to put it back. Like every morning I have to set up the desk my way, like if someone else closed the night before and there's like stuff on the desk, I have to everything has to be in its spot.
Yeah, I think that's definitely OCPD. But I'm the same way. Like I was just thinking about when we do grocery. So when we come home from grocery, like we put it away, and like Brandon will help me put everything away, and it's great. But I'll go back into the fridge and put them in the proper place. Like, because you know how, I think it's also because we worked in the food industry to understand this. But like he'll put like the chicken on the top rack.
No.
And I'm just like, no, that meat always goes on the bottom rack. And I always follow FIFO, first in, first out.
Yeah.
And so like when he fills Link's like food thing, for example, like the container, sometimes he won't empty it out and then put the new one in and then put the old on top.
Oh my God.
And it makes me mad, but he's like, well, dog food doesn't expire.
Oh my God.
I'm like, still, you just always first in, first out. That's what, it's just what you do.
It's life.
Yeah. But I try to not let it bother me. Because my mom came over the other day, and she was just so impressed about like how clean the house is and like how orderly it is. And she's like, it's like no one lives here. I was like, yeah.
That's like how I want my house to look like. And normally, I mean, it's pretty good like when Fabian's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Also because when he's gone, like I don't spend a lot of time in the living room because I have no reason to be sitting on my couch by myself.
Yeah.
And so the living room doesn't really get used. The dining room right now has turned into my like sewing area. But when it wasn't, it was always like it looked the same every single day. And I rarely use that too, so it would get like dusty sometimes. But oh, one thing you would hate too. I was just thinking about this yesterday, but that relates to the OCPD thing. But you would hate cutting out patterns for sewing.
Why?
It irritates me so much because so you have like a big piece of fabric, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the shapes you're cutting out are like really odd shapes. So I was
Oh, I see what
yeah,
you're saying.
like I was cutting out the shape of a swimsuit yesterday. And so you like cut this out and I try really hard to like conserve the space and try to make things fit so that I'm like wasting the least amount of fabric, but like nothing fits together like Tetris, everything kind of fits
Mm-hmm.
together. You can find a way, but nothing fits together because I just like don't go that way. So it like creates all these odd shapes in the fabric, and so the fabric's never just a square anymore once you cut into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's annoying to have to fold it back up because it's not a square anymore. And there's like pieces hanging off and stuff. Oh, it irritates me so much.
Yeah, I can see that because so for the heat transfer vinyl, I was making the shirts, like, it starts off as just like this perfectly rectangle sheet of vinyl, and then
Mhm.
you cut out stuff, just like the patterns.
Yeah.
And so I have it perfectly aligned on like my computer to how I want it to be cut and like I want it to look on the shirt, right?
Yeah.
And so there's all this like extra white space. And
Hmm.
so I have to like sacrifice I either like bunch all the words and the pictures all together so I can utilize as much space as possible,
Hmm.
or I keep it exactly how I want it and just cut out and just have all this blank space, because once I cut it, then all I have to do is just stick it on the shirt and iron it.
Yeah.
And so when I did my first shirt, I just like sat at the computer for the longest time. I'm just like, okay, do I save space or do I have it perfectly so that it's perfect on the shirt when I iron it? And I was just because also the other part of me doesn't want to waste anything.
Yes. Oh, that's the hardest part. Like I do that when I have to print things out too
Hmm.
and cut them out. Like, oh my God, it's so hard because I'm trying to fit everything on one page. And it's just, oh, I hate wasting things. I hate it.
Me too. I think that's the problem with crafting is that you do waste a lot of
So
stuff.
yeah. It's not crafting is not environmentally friendly.
It really isn't. I try to recycle as much as possible, but it really is pretty wasteful if you
Yeah.
ever think about it.
So hard.
But yeah, OCPD, that gets me. I'm pretty sure we have it.
Yeah.
I mean, it says, thus naturally, we have it.
Naturally in quotation marks. Should we do one more?
Yeah, we probably, yeah, time for one more.
Okay. Do you have another one?
Oh, this is the one we were talking about, or I was telling you that, because we were literally just talking about it yesterday.
Uh-huh.
This is INTJs tie with ENFPs as the type with the third lowest rate of heart disease / hypertension. In fact, only 15.4% of INTJs reported experiencing these conditions.
Oh, yeah.
Lowest heart rate. Yeah. And we
Oh,
were just talking about because what's your resting heart rate yesterday?
47.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
I'm just like, are you alive?
Wait, let me see what it is right now.
Okay.
It's so weird because I feel like INTJs are stressed out all the time. Let's see.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, right now, for today, my resting heart rate is at 53.
Okay, that's better than yesterday. Because
Yeah.
normal's what? Between 60 and 80, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I think like on average, technically, like 50 is I know the athletic range, like athletes are between like, I think it's like 49 and 54, something like that. But like, I would not consider myself an athlete, so I don't know how my resting heart rate is so low. And we were actually talking about this at work too yesterday, because a couple of coworkers there also have the watch that measures it.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about it, and I was asking them what theirs were. And one of my coworkers, her resting heart rate was like 90 something.
Is she okay?
She's always had like a really fast heart rate, like all her life. She's she's like skinny. She's not like overweight or anything. She doesn't eat terribly. It doesn't seem like it. Like she seems like a very healthy person, but it's just so fast. And then the same thing with my other coworker. She's the same way, very thin, very petite. But her resting heart rate was like, I think it was like in the 80s or something. Or maybe hers wasn't showing, but her heart rate, like in that moment, was really high.
That's interesting. I wonder what your mom's heart rate is.
I know. I'll put my watch on her when I get there. Mine right now is at 63.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
It makes me kind of wonder, because you know how like INTJs typically are cool and collective, and they don't deal with like we don't have like intense emotions.
Yeah.
And we're pretty just monotone.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's why our heart rate is typically lower. I don't know what my resting is. I don't have like
That's true.
a fancy watch, but like when I go to the doctor, it's typically normal and it's usually good. So I wonder if that's just like because of our personality, the way we are, it's just very calm.
Yeah.
That we have a low heart rate. I just think it's funny because my dad literally died of like his heart, and that's like a big thing in our family. At least in my dad's side, everyone has like heart problems, but I don't have any.
I know my mom has, she's got like the high blood pressure and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm stressed out all the time.
That's true. I'm pretty stressed out all the time, but I guess it doesn't affect. Oh no, it should affect your heart rate. Yeah. I don't know. I just thought that was funny because we were literally just talking about your heart rate yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, maybe it's an INTJ thing. That's my shame.
I didn't even put that together. Oh, there was one other statistic that we should have mentioned.
Which one?
I have to pull it up because I can't remember the numbers, like the occurrences of INTJs versus the other personality types. But I forget what it is. It's like, I know like female INTJs are the rarest personality type.
We're like 1%. Yeah. Which is like 75 million or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's less than 1%. I think it's like 0.8% was the last one I saw.
Yeah.
In general, INTJs make up 2% of the general population. So INTJs total, males and females.
Yeah, because okay, I did have another statistic, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to share it because it seemed kind of. I'll just share it. So only 30.8% of INTJs rate relationships/friendships as very important, which is the lowest of all types. And then INTJs also rated their friendships as the least satisfying of all types.
I was gonna pick that one too.
Yeah, I didn't want to pick it because I didn't want like family and friends to think that we don't like them and that we don't value them, because I do have a lot of fun with like Casey and Bailey and Austin, and like yesterday was a blast with them and I love them. So don't get me wrong, like I very much enjoy my friends and I love doing these podcasts with them. With that said, I was talking to Brandon about this too, like how it's very, 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 I can't stress enough the word very, it's very hard to find someone who is like-minded like me.
Mhm.
And maybe it's because we're only like 2% of us, and I've never met another INTJ. And I think it's really crazy that we even met each other to begin with, and that you even have this personality type.
Yeah.
But I have yet to find anyone, at least like a friend that shares like the same
Yeah.
political beliefs and the same religious beliefs and the same like outlook in life and the same opinions. It's very rare, and it gets really frustrating because to an extent, I truly can't be like 100% truly myself with everybody.
Oh
If
yeah.
that makes sense,
I feel
other than Brandon.
yeah. I feel the same way. Like, and I don't. That's why I feel like I mentioned this before, but that's why I feel like my like spirit animal or whatever it's called. Is that what it's
Mm-hmm.
called? Spirit animal
Sure.
is a chameleon because
Oh, that's a
I
good one.
feel like, and I do it without really thinking. Like I don't feel like I'm being fake around people, but I feel like I morph myself into different versions of myself around different people. It's just like a thing that I naturally do. And I didn't realize I was doing it until recently. But like if you look at my friend groups,
They're all
my
different.
friends are very different.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I don't know. So I feel like not that I like change myself when I'm around them, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like a chameleon.
Yeah.
It just like I'm a little different with each person that I hang out with.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the same for me because I don't change myself. I still have my own opinions and all that stuff, and like I don't agree with someone just to agree with them.
Yeah,
Like if I oppose them, then I oppose them, and I'll share why. But
yeah,
but
like I
yeah,
don't lie to people ever.
yeah.
I'm
Like
not
I'm not completely like I'm not myself, but I'm not 100% like I don't like express everything about myself.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
There's definitely portions that I hide
hmm
depending on what group I'm in.
I think like and that statistic also shows how like I think you've heard this before, but INTJs are known for kind of like disappearing for a little bit
Yeah. Hmm.
and just like reappearing, which because I can go long distance of time or long, I don't know, I can't talk right now, but I can go long periods of time without talking to people, but then like it doesn't make me feel like I'm any less of a friend to them or they're any less of my friends.
Hmm.
Like some of my closest best friends, I don't talk to them for weeks, sometimes even months at a time. But then when I do talk to them, it's like nothing changed.
Yeah, you just picked up where you left off.
And they're still considered like my best friends and it doesn't bother me. So,
Yeah.
and I'm just
I
really
just
bad at keeping up with people on a weekend. So,
same. I'm trying to get better at that. Like I'll try to ask how people are doing
yeah, it's so
cuz
hard.
it is hard. And I have to be in the mood to talk too cuz obviously they're going to respond. Like I don't want people to think that when I text them it's because I need something from them.
Yeah,
I want to try to make it a habit to just text someone just to ask
I
how they're
know.
doing.
I like catch myself doing that too. I'm like, oh, I need to not do that.
Yeah.
That's rude.
Because people do it to me and I don't like it.
Yeah,
So I don't know why I do it to other people. Hmm.
that's funny. So I was watching something last night, and this character in the show, she's for sure an INTJ, but she said something that like obviously is taken really wrong and does come off very rude. But at the same time, like I really understood it, and I was like, dang, am I a terrible person for being the same way? But she said something along the lines of like, because like her sister asked her like, oh, do you have friends? Like, do you hang out with anybody? And she's like, I don't like to hang out with people unless it serves a purpose. She literally said, like, I prefer to be alone. Like, I like to be alone, and I don't hang out with anyone unless something is being accomplished. Like, that's what she said in a very dead
Oh,
voice, too.
that's funny.
I was like, oh my God, that's me, but I really don't want that to be me. It sounds so bad, but I don't know, because, like, I don't naturally think about hanging out with people unless I feel like I need someone with me.
Mm-hmm. I
That doesn't
know. I get what
mean
you're
I
saying.
don't enjoy people, though, or, like, I don't enjoy a person.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that.
Yeah. And I'm picky with the people that I choose, too.
Mm-hmm. But it also serves a purpose. Okay, so God, not to make this so mechanical, but like it does serve a purpose in the way, for example, Casey. Casey's love language is quality time, and that's what she likes doing, and that's her like favorite thing to do is spending quality time with people that she loves.
Yeah.
And so for me to spend time with her does serve a purpose because it like
It's like a gift
it's
to her.
it like adds friendship points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you think about it from like, have you ever played Harvest Moon?
No, but there's a Animal Crossing is like this.
Oh yeah, Animal Crossing. So like in Harvest Moon, it's more visual because you can see how many hearts you get with
Yeah.
each friend. So when you spend more quality time with each friend, like say talk to them every day in the game, it adds friendship points and you get more hearts.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that's kind of how I think about my friendship.
yeah. Pocket Camp has that.
Yeah,
See, I think that's why I tend to go towards games that are like that. It's a lot of like tracking.
yeah, and tracking your status,
Yes.
and
And
yeah, and
I'm
there's
the
a
same way.
goal.
Yeah, like I'm trying to get like, the best friend photos in Animal Crossing. So I'm like looking up like how do you get there, blah blah blah. And then people broke it down. Like you get this many points for you can't really see it in Animal
Uh-huh.
Crossing, but you do get points. Like it is a point system for doing specific things to become like
Yeah.
best friends with them.
That's how like Stardew Valley is because you can marry people too. And so like when I started the game, I just like scoped out like, okay, do I want to be lesbian or straight? And then so I scoped out all the people and I was like, okay, this person, I like this person's personality. And then
Yeah.
there's a whole wiki page on Stardew Valley and it shows like what they dislike, what they hate, what they like, and what they love. And so if you give them something they love, then you get the hearts more.
Okay, dude. That's like Fable. Like one of my favorite things in Fable was like building the relationships with the people because you can see it happening, like with the
Hmm.
bars, and
Yeah.
the hearts and stuff, and so you're basically earning points for doing things for them to make them
Yeah.
fall in love with you.
And
And then
that's like kind of how it is in real life though, you know?
you just rack
Like,
the points. Wow.
yeah.
Oh
Not
my
to be so robotic.
I know. People who like know us are gonna be like, what is wrong with them? Who like know us but don't really know the deep
Yeah.
sides of our minds.
It's so funny. But that is what I think about. Like that's why I like reserve time for certain friends and do certain things with certain people because I know that's what they like. And
Yeah.
if I do what they like, then I get more friendship points and they'll stay friends with me. That sounds really sad.
Oh my god.
But I mean, like, I enjoy their friendship and their companionships. I want them to I want to keep them in my life.
Yeah.
So it is logical if you think about it from that standpoint. Like
Yeah.
hanging out with people, there is a purpose to that person's point, that character you're talking about.
Yeah. That's why I really liked that line. I was like, man. But it just like and the way she said it, it came across so bad because that's just how her character is though. She's very
Mhm.
deadpan.
What is this? What shows
Very
this?
it's called The Girlfriend Experience. I think, yeah, The Girlfriend Experience. It's on Stars.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting show. It's definitely rated R. Like
Like most things.
really rated R. Because it's about like she's an escort.
Oh.
So she becomes an escort, but it's really interesting and like crazy. But she's definitely an INTJ because she's like a law student and stuff.
Mm,
She's just insane, but
that's interesting.
yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned like the way she said it because Austin pointed out yesterday how monotone my voice was because I said something snarky. He described it as snarky. But it like caught him off guard because the way I said it didn't seem like there was just no emotion,
Yeah.
I guess, like connected to it. And so it like took him back because he had to think about it. He's like, wait, what did she just say?
That's funny. I'm definitely like not as monotone as you are, but I have found myself in those situations because what I said I didn't realize may mean more to other people.
Yeah, I have to think about that, like the frequency of my voice and all that when I talk to people. But like that just goes to show like the more monotone my voice is, like I feel like my voice is kind of monotone right now, but like it's versus like the beginning of the podcast. But like the more monotone it just means the more relaxed and calm I am, the more comfortable I am with you. So
that's
people
true.
shouldn't take it so offensively or anything.
It's a compliment.
Yeah, because I said, what did I say yesterday that caught him off guard? Oh, so we were taking a picture and then we were trying to squeeze into the picture. And so Casey sat on my lap so that we could get into the shot.
Yeah.
But but when she sat on my lap, it like the way she sat on my lap, like my knee went in her butt crack. So I was like, geez, Casey, my knee just went up your butthole. But I said it so monotone that like Austin was like, what did she say?
He was like, is it a joke? That's funny. Oh my god.
Oh, I thought that was funny.
That makes it more entertaining though, because you don't know, and so you have to like think about it, and you're like, wait.
Yeah, I had a friend in college who, like, I guess I've just always been monotone, but I never really thought about it because, obviously you don't really think about how you talk.
Yeah.
But she thought I was the most hilarious person in our friend group. Like, just anything that I say, she would just laugh because I had such a monotone voice, but I would say, apparently, I don't know, but apparently I would say really funny or like outlandish things, but because it's in a monotone voice, she just thought it was just the funniest thing she's ever heard.
See, whenever I say something that people think is like really funny, which I'm not a funny person, but whenever something like comes across as really funny, I really didn't mean it to be that way. It's just like how I said it, I guess, because I don't know. It's kind of because you don't like really intend to be funny when you're like saying certain things, but it comes across that way because of the way you say it, because it is like kind of monotone and like you're saying it kind of serious, but people think that you're joking, so they take it as like, funny. And I feel like I do that sometimes, and then people are laughing. I'm like, why are you laughing? Like, why is that funny?
I don't know. I think we're hilarious. Like anytime we do an episode, or just even in real life, not even just the podcast.
Yeah.
And I think back on the things that we say, I think we're both just really hilarious.
When we're together, yeah.
Yeah. Like I can't it's hard for me to edit our episodes, to be honest, because I have to like pause because I'm laughing.
I like that.
And I wonder if people think we're funny. I don't know. I mean, obviously they like the episode because my INTJ episodes are always the most popular. I don't know if they're popular because it says INTJ or if they really do think we're funny.
It's probably those INTJs that are searching for other people that are like them.
The 2%ers, yeah.
Yeah. That's 50% showing up.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys think it's funny. I do
too.
I think it's funny.
Well, it is 2:45.
Oh, right. You need to go
pick up
do that thing. What are you doing picking up a tank?
I have a tank for my hermit crab. Got to move him in from a 10-gallon to a 20-gallon.
Dang, double the size.
Yeah. Well, technically 20-gallon is like the smallest you're supposed to have them in. I felt really bad. And now that he's Alfonso has gotten so big, I feel so bad because he can barely move around in this little 10-gallon. He's just too
Oh.
big. Yeah.
When you guys get like a big house, if that's ever like in your future, you should just have like an aquarium room.
I would not mind because Fabian really wants fish. He loves fish, and he wants to have like a big tank. He won't get a tank right now because he wants one that's big enough, like because he'll feel bad putting us in a small tank. So he wants to get a big tank. So it'd be really cool to have like a tank room for the fish and the hermit crabs.
Yeah, it's gonna stink though.
I know, that's the only thing. I want a nice big. What I really want to do is I want several tanks, and I want to connect them all because you can, and so that they can move in between, like move into all the other tanks. Like that's what I really want, but the upkeep on that is going to be crazy, and it is going to smell.
Yeah. It's going to be really humid in that room, too.
Yes.
I could just imagine it now.
Which would really suck for here in Virginia. In California, it wouldn't be that bad. But in Virginia, oh my God, it's already so humid. Like, everything molds.
Ugh.
It's gross.
Yeah. I feel like I could smell it. Because my family in the Philippines, they had like, it's tropical there. So it's humid. And they had this giant fish tank. And with what's the flat, long fish called? I forgot what they're called.
Eels?
No, it's that one.
Oh, flounder.
No, it's longer. It's one of those long ones. It's like one of those rare ones you get of Animal Crossing.
Oh.
Something Piscia. An Aeropecia? Is that what it's called?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, they had one. And because it's so long and big, they had to have a giant tank. And so it's like humid and you could just smell it. And that's what I'm smelling right now. If you guys get the giant tank.
It definitely needs to be like closed off. But anyway, I better go now.
Okay. Cool. Well, thanks for getting on. Thanks for doing another episode. We have another one this month that we're doing. So just think about what you want to talk about.
My hermit crabs. No.
There's a whole episode of just hermit crabs in general.
Oh my God.
I don't know about that one. It's just going to be you the entire time.
No.
I was like, that's cool.
Yeah. So bored. Oh my God.
All right. Well, have fun with your tank.
Have fun editing and whatnot, whatever you're doing today.
I need a poop.
That'll be fun.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoy what you hear and want to stay up to date on the show, please follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. You can also check out my website at thetalkativeintrovertpodcast.com. All the information will be on there as well as in the show notes. Please help support the show by sharing it with your friends and family. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you guys in the next episode.